Hi, welcome to Star Power Alchemy YouTube. My name is Alejandra Sofia, and I'm tuning in to the full moon in Pisces on September 13th, 2019 at 9:33 p.m. Pacific time, so 12:33 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm getting this out later than I usually do with my videos. It's been a very full and internal time as well as I'm navigating through my reality. So, I offer this video to you on the eve of the full moon in Pisces with the moon in Pisces, and it's really allowed me to get down into the nitty-gritty of these heavily Virgo impacted moments that we're in since the Virgo new moon on August 30th. So let's tune in. Let's tune into this full moon. This is what I got for you. And it's really coming from my own experience and from my own personal experience and what is deeply impacting me, that's helping me to tap into the intricacies of this time that we're in, of this month, and what's the significator of it, the significance of it, excuse me. So here we go. I'm going to tune into several key aspects, the outstanding aspects of this full moon. And so to call them out right now, the full moon in Pisces the full moon is always in opposition, and opposition with the sun in Virgo. So the full moon in an opposition is sharing in conjunction to another opposition, which is pretty interesting, and it's an exact opposition between those two, and that's Neptune and Mars. So the moon is at 22 degrees Pisces. I round up 21 degrees and 5 minutes of Pisces, rounding up to 22, and the Virgo sun's at 21 and 5 degrees of Virgo, rounding up to 22. And then we have Neptune at 17 degrees and 12 minutes, rounding up to 18 Pisces, and Mars directly opposite at a really tight conjunction of 17 on the hour on the minute of the full moon of 17 minutes and 17 degrees and 10 minutes of Virgo. So that's a powerful conjunction. Neptune Mars at the 18th degree frequency of Pisces and Virgo, the full moon in the full moon and the sun at the 22nd degree of Pisces and Virgo, and then another. So that's one of the key aspects here. And those two oppositions are both squaring off with Jupiter, and so that's creating a T square for Jupiter. So I'm calling that so Jupiter's double powered. It's a double power, increases the power and the importance of Jupiter because it's in. I'm looking at my charts right here, everybody. So I'm looking down a lot. So Jupiter is double powered, and it's a specific energy that Jupiter is up against. So Jupiter equals your greatest good. I'm going to put it down to that. Jupiter is your greatest good. That inside of you that is on the path for your greatest good. We all have in our human potential, and each of our potential, our greatest good pathway. And our pathway is made up of moment by moment by moment, minutia of choices. And so there's Jupiter in expansive Sag right now. And before I continue on to what's happening there, but just to finish that little line of thought, Jupiter in expansive Sag, the big picture, global. Sag is already global, and Jupiter's just taking it to a whole other level. So your own greatest good, your own possibility, your own piece of the pie, your own success path, and what success means for you, how you're involved with society, how you're putting yourself out into the marketplace, what you have to offer. Your greatest good, that is you thriving on all levels. So that's really what Jupiter's after, and the highest light and the greatest light. And so we've also got Pluto playing a really prominent role in this setup of the full moon, with Pluto being in a strong sextile, 1 degree orb sextile to the moon, and Saturn being in a sextile to Neptune. So those two, that conjunction that's happening between Saturn and Pluto and within a 10 degree orb, being in a strong trine. So Saturn's trining with the Mars and the Sun conjunction in Virgo, and Saturn's sextiling Neptune very sharp, very strongly within 4 degrees. And then Pluto's coming in the sextile with the moon. And that's key right there. That's a really important setup right there with Pluto and the moon, because that's indicating the deep process that each of us, and moon is personal, the deep personal process undergoing inside each one of us, or if you're working on yourself, of really finding your sweet spot, learning how to keep finding the sweet spot and threading yourself through each continual moment by moment, shifts and changes to find the sweet spot, to find your sweet ride. And that means a perspective, an emotional perspective, an emotional mental perspective that allows you to hold yourself emotionally with well-being, with compassion, empathy, that extends out in a healthy way, where your waters, because we got moon in conjunction to Neptune. So that's a big, you got Neptune, the all-encompassing waters. It's the oneness, it's the wholeness, the fullness, the oceanic waters of all that is, and cosmic consciousness, collective, and how that cosmic consciousness and that oneness, that in Sanskrit there's a word called bhakti. Some of you might be familiar with it. And so there's and I connect bhakti yoga to the planet Neptune, because it's our heart, it's our spiritual heart. And when we're channeling our Neptune, rightfully, we're channeling it through our heart, and through channeling with the moon in Pisces. So there's a real key here around your dreams and your wishes, and your own tapping into your wishes and your well of wishes, and your wishes for wellness. So, and that's really picking up the stream of this polarity of what I just spoke there, Virgo and Pisces. It's like your own wish for wellness and wholeness, your own wish for health, your own wish for thriving, and accessing that deep desire inside of you in the depths, moon in Pisces, and your dream, Pisces, and then having Neptune there, which Neptune is a ruler of Pisces. So there's this, the little one in you, moon, your own emotions that wants to, that's dreaming your dream. And there's Virgo. We've got 4 planets. And the moon, because we are still in the energy of the new moon in Virgo, so it's in the field. The new moon in Virgo is in the field. So in that sense, we have 5 planetary energies that are all personal, streaming through the sign of Virgo. And with the full moon, the moon's in Pisces, so it's no longer in Virgo, but we've got the full moon in Pisces, and 4 planets, personal planets in Virgo, and Juno the partner, Juno the worker, Juno the server, all in Virgo. And so that really speaks to this month of getting down into some details of your reality, to help knock out some kinks. That's really what it is. And so where I see the full moon, it's like getting down into the nitty gritty of your emotions, to really what is the key to happiness? Well, it's going to be a perspective. It's a perspective that I'm holding and learning to hold inside of myself, that is allowing you to make choices for yourself that make you feel better and better, and increasingly better. And that's where I see that squaring off of Jupiter, and Jupiter's double powered right now, because again of getting a double opposition, an opposition that's in conjunction with each other, in a conjunction squaring off with Jupiter. So that again increases the power of Jupiter, of wow, in this world of choices, in my daily choices, and all the things I got going for myself physically, mentally, emotionally, on a project level, on work level, on a health, everything that makes up the everything of your reality, and all the different threads, and how, and your Virgo is really putting your Virgo to the task, because Virgo is an internal sign. So Virgo's the one in you that's I'm working for my greatest good. That's all I really want to work for. I want to work for my greatest good. I want all my income streams streaming through my greatest good reality. And whatever that is for you, whatever those dreams that you're dreaming that are freeing you on the inside, when you tap into your dream, and and do you know what I mean? And I'm sure you do know as well, when you tap into something you really want and you feel this freedom because you've tapped into something you really want, and you go from a place of confusion, you go to a place of clarity, and that's free. That's an aspect of freedom. So freedom's a powerful word, and it's really kind of defining what that freedom means. So, and that's where I see Virgo, like who's Virgo in the zodiac? Virgo's the worker that's getting to work on your greatest good. And so with the moon in Pisces right now, it's really about, but you know what? I've really got to find a place inside of myself. Like I always want to connect with the best feeling inside. And how do I keep that going? Because Pisces is a really, really, there's a lot of possibilities that are streaming through Pisces of choices of emotions. It's deeply unconscious. So the more you get clear about your choice in choosing your emotions, and that's where I see Saturn coming in to really help with that challenge, to really help with the discipline that comes with the daily discipline and the daily diligence of keeping to task, of accepting, these powerful spiritual realities of acceptance, and so acceptance, Saturn in Capricorn has to do with acceptance, accepting what you need to do, accepting what is, and accepting what you can't control, so that you can get clear about what is in your power, how to direct your willpower in positive ways. And again, Jupiter is in there. There's Jupiter in squaring off most tightly with Neptune and Mars. And what makes that powerful is that we're on September 20th, 21st, we're coming up against, not against, but we're coming up to the third Jupiter squaring off with Neptune. And it's really interesting of the year, Jupiter and Sag squaring with Neptune in this year of 2019. And what makes this really interesting, this third square between Jupiter and Neptune, is that Mars coming right in there to go, okay, I'm coming in, and I'm more clear with my goals. I'm more clear with what I want, and I'm more. There's that trine. There's also 2 grand trines this month in Earth, and I'm more clear about what it is I need to do. I'm more clear about how to care for my reality. I'm more clear about what I shouldn't do, and that's no longer. I'm more clear about what's not working for me, and I'm more clear about what I need to do for myself. I'm more clear about how I work and wanting to get to work. And so also in this full moon, we have Saturn stationing. Saturn's stationing right now at its degree of 14 degrees Capricorn, and then moves direct next week on the 18th. So that's powerful too. It's like things are kind of coming to a halt, but what it feels like, and this is definitely me feeling what's happening to me right now, there's this like slowing down of like, oh, okay, I get that. I had some powerful acceptance today about a situation that's in my reality that I really don't want. Like, I really don't want that. But when I tune into it and I go deeper with it, I'm like, oh, I see how I magnetize that. I went to a place in which I got beyond the want. I stretched myself out into a deeper place, tapped in more deeply, and like, I do want this. I like this. I like this because it's challenging me, and I like how I'm growing in this direct. Oh, I do like this, even though another part of me more on the surface is like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this, but on a deeper level. And so there's the depths of moon in Pisces, the moon in Pisces. And so there's where Pluto's coming in to really support with this in a sextile. So sextiles are supportive. They're supportive aspects. And we've got 2 strong sextiles in this full moon in Pisces, with Saturn, again, sextiling Neptune, and is in a long sextile with the moon. So that's supportive as well. It's in a long sextile though. So it's like in a 10-degree orb. And then Pluto's in a very tight sextile within 20 minutes of the moon, and then also doing a sextile to Neptune as well. So that sextile is like supportive. They work together. They're working together. So Pluto's there, like, I'm here with you, Moon. I'm here to help you transform your reality and come into an inward structure. I want to come into an inward edification of who you are. That's kind of what Pluto's saying, like to let go of all those power struggles and all those things that you're fighting against, all the things that you learned, all the things that have been regurgitating through you through eons, through thousands of years. One of the things that I've been doing in a deep exploration for myself is a historical exploration, reading books, listening to experts, historians, and some specifically focusing on the history of the United States. And I read a book called 1776 and by a guy named Doug McLuhan, and powerful book. And so that's important because that's the Saturn and Pluto retrospect that's happening. So Saturn, especially with Saturn conjuncting the South Node right now, there's a retrospect, like retrospectively, looking back on the past in a productive way, in a helpful way, in an insightful way, getting some information. So to help you understand the past. And so that's where I see the Pisces moon as well. Like anything that is helping you understand your present moment, your personal history, that's powerful. Anything that helps you understand your personal history. And that's going to keep going with Saturn conjuncting the South Node. And it's going to, when Saturn moves direct next week, Saturn's going to go back over the South Node, and they're going to meet again. So there's a really strong pull towards the past in a productive way, in a constructive way, that helps inform, help you personally locate yourself in the present moment. And so how I'm locating myself in my present moment and who I am, and I'm just sharing an indulgence, I'll call it, an indulgence of mine right now. I'm indulging my desire for understanding the past. I want to understand the century that I live in. I want to understand this decade that's ending, 2019, that we're wrapping up and getting ready to head into the third decade, the beginning of the third decade of the 21st century. It's fascinating to me to understand what was happening 100 years ago that is relative to me right now, that directly, personally affects me right now. And so something that was happening 100 years ago, actually in 1913 is when Henry Ford released his Model T car that has affected the world. Like, I'm driving a car because this guy invented the car, Henry Ford, and what he put the Ford in affordability. So I'm just sharing some pieces of information that could interest you or not, but why that interests me so much is because I'm flooded with the past. We're all flooded with the past, and it's fascinating for me to understand what happened in 1776, what happened. And so I'm also threading this through the Pluto Capricorn, rhythms. And so the last time we had Pluto in Capricorn before this time, which is the 21st century, was in the 18th century. And the last time we had, and before that, was the 16th century. And so I'm finding these clues that are helping me understand what's happening, who I am and who we are, and the people who tend to listen to me, what we're doing, what is this that we're wanting, and what is it that we're trying to get to. So I share all that on this Pisces full moon because there's this Pluto, that's what Pluto and Capricorn just did. I felt like I just kind of got onto this Pluto Capricorn thread with sextiling the moon in Pisces. It's like, who am I in all this? Who am I in all this? Moon and Pisces is sort of out there in this oceanic world of the entire universe, and here we are. Okay, at least I'm on Earth, and so there's the moon conjunct the Earth. Okay, I'm on the Earth. What is going on here? Who am I in all this? What am I in all this? What are these feelings? And getting clear, sorting out the bad feelings from the good feelings. So sorting out the negative streams from the positive streams, and really clearing out. So that's where I feel, I'm getting to the bottom of some really very bottom feelings, but I'm threading them through deeper understanding. And that's where I feel Pluto coming in to help me kind of land in something like, oh, now I get that, and I can forgive myself for that, or I can forgive other people, or I can forgive culture, or I can forgive whatever little chip on my shoulder I have for cultures that were really mean to other people in other times, and help me understand the present. So all these things, all these negative trips that it is very natural for us in our survival instinct mechanisms, emotional mechanisms, to get caught in. So that's where the light is shining through. Here's the Virgo sun getting down into the minutia that's really saying, I want to help you thrive. The Virgo in me wants to work for my greatest good and to find and to optimize my situation. There's Jupiter in Sag saying, I want to optimize you. In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to clear out some cobwebs, and I'm going to have to end some things. Like, that just is not working for me anymore to keep choosing that, and whatever that is, or whatever project I have, whatever, because again, or I think I'm mentioning this for the first time, but Virgo is a systems thinker. So we're using our Virgo in anything that we're creating and earthifying in our life. So in our businesses, and I mean, Virgo's all over the place, working hard on building systems and understanding data. There's the very intellectual side of Virgo and the analytical side of Virgo. And then, but to put it all together, Virgo keys on wholeness. Virgo wants the whole thing to work together harmoniously, and wants and knows that threading through your own consciousness, that the I in you needs to care for yourself in reality, and in your reality, and doing it on your terms, and the right foods for your diet, for your thriving, the right choices, the right things you need to do for that. And so that's where Virgo rules endings, and that's the light that rules endings and beginnings. Like, for example, just like I'm going to end eating that food at that time is just not good for me. So maybe, like, as an example, you're changing what time you have dinner. Instead of eating dinner at 8, you know what? I've tried over and over again. I'm trying to find a better time for me to eat dinner, and I'm going to try 5:30. Oh, wait a minute. 5:30 works for me. I like that. I have 5 hours to digest. I sleep better. All these things. That's one example of many possibilities of how Virgo is getting to work on your reality. So again, Virgo's a systems thinker and loves systems, loves data, loves understanding, loves analyzing, and getting down into the minutia of it. But on a holistic level, Virgo's really working on a holistic level. It doesn't want to. One of the expressions of Virgo is overly compartmentalizing things, compartmentalizing emotions, compartmentalizing things, situations in a way where it becomes unhealthy. And so Virgo, the soul of Virgo understands they all work together. It's, again, the permaculturalist, knows that all these systems are working together, and how do I make this stream flow in a healthy way, and it's affecting all these other streams. So that's where I see, again, Virgo, the fixer, the threader, and shining that light on the Pisces moon, and then the moon is shining that light back to the earth, right? So, and that Pisces moon, again, is how do I care for myself, and how do I understand what's happening in the world so I don't get pummeled by other people's scenarios, or I don't get caught up in competitive ideas about how reality works, because there's definitely this adjustment in reality of understanding how reality works and releasing those more petty ideologies that really aren't true, that take you down these rabbit holes that make that de-energize you. So that's what the Pisces moon conjuncting Neptune, and with Jupiter in Jupiter double powered right now in a T square, it's just saying I want to optimize myself. So let me take a look at that right now. The Jupiter moon square happening, but it's hard to not include Neptune there as well. So Jupiter conjunct Neptune squaring off with Jupiter and Sag. It's like, I want to care for my reality, and I want to care for other people, but I don't want to shut down. There's just real emotional needs of just like, I want to get to my wellness. I want to drink deeply of my wishing well and grant myself these wishes. I know I'm the one who has to take care of this. Mars in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo. I get it. And Venus in Virgo as well. Like, to treat myself in a holistic way with kindness and love. And how do I make love be the number one reality, the dominant reality of my life? Oh, okay, I'm getting this now. And this is how I'm optimizing myself, and finding new solutions, and having more fun with my reality, being more joyful. And I want to create more daily joy. And how do I do that moment by moment, and understanding the things that work for you morning, midday, and nighttime. So that's again, the Virgo has Virgo's about ruling, it rules the rhythms. And there's moon in Pisces, who wants to expand out into the world, but it's important to get a handle. It's important to create a way. I was about to say it's important to get a handle of your emotions, but that sounds really rough. It's not what I mean. What I mean it's important to find a way to land in yourself, like you're creating a boat, you're building a boat that's like, I like my boat, this feels good. And it's like learning how to ride the rough waters, but keep yourself flowing down your river. You want to create ease and flow, and it doesn't mean you're avoiding challenge. It's not about avoidance, but it is about creating ease and flow. It's about creating a positivity. The Jupiter squaring the moon, because Jupiter in Sag is like, knows that there's this positive stream, there's a positive way of being, there's a positive perspective that's healthy, that allows for you to live your life moment by moment on this ride that you're on with yourself. And that you are the most important person in your life. You're the number one person in your life, because when you make your reality function holistically well, and you're communicating, you're clearing yourself of inward obstructions emotionally, then everyone else thrives. And so the more you get that, that's where I feel the moon and Jupiter is like, oh, I get that now. The more I care for myself, like I genuinely care for myself, everyone I love benefits. And also there's that aspect too of like the people that you love in your life, the people that you really care for. And you know, it really does work this way, where the people in your life want you to thrive and you want the people in your life to thrive. Like, that's the truth on the deepest level. This competitive thing that we get caught up in, that's just this negative trip our ego gets on. And so that's part of what this time is to like deepen with ourselves and get off of those negative competitive trips, and to come into collaboration, and that we don't have to be in competition with each other, and we can live in a collaborative world. And there's something too with this moon, because of Jupiter squaring Neptune, and it's finding a new philosophy of life of like, you know what, most of the people in my life can believe in this, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe you have to work as hard as you have to and break your back and sacrifice hours of sleep and drive yourself into a wall. And I believe that we can create a reality in which we're also, we're supporting each other and we're collaborating, and it's a mutually beneficial situation. And it's not this mean world of having to put each other down and these unkind attitudes, these unkind perspectives that aren't very supportive and that are overly criticizing of each other. And that's where I feel that there's a massive healing happening right now as well. I feel like I'm one of many people who's likely, very, very highly likely getting, especially as I'm hearing what's happening in the world and YouTube, Facebook, and the social media platforms, the world is changing and we need a kinder world. Yes, there's a lot of terrible scenarios happening, terrible, horrible, awful scenarios happening on the planet right now. And there's also on the opposite end, lovely, beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, sublime realities happening as well. And so that's what it's just learning to choose as you're getting it for yourself. Moon in Pisces, that you are your own wishing well and you wish for your wellness, and that your wellness is totally 100% threading through the wellness of the planet and your own dream for a healthy planet. And that dream that you're dreaming for yourself, for your family, for the earth, for the human family, that is helping you to release yourself from time is money, to releasing yourself from that language that encapsulates you in time and makes your nervous system cringe, and get anxious, and to find new words and maybe drop words. That's a thing you can do with your Virgo and be like, you know what? When I say that word, I just cringe inside. And so I'm not going to say that word anymore. And actually, I'm going to find a higher vibrational word that makes me feel good and makes me feel better and makes me feel actually more intelligent and more elevated and more soothed inside. Oh, that's really interesting how when I shift that, I not only feel more intelligent, I feel more relaxed. I feel all these things. Wow, that's really amazing. So you've got to be your own scientist, soul scientist, and feel it too, because moon, the Pisces moon and the Virgo, they're very sensual as well. Virgo is very sensual. These are internal precincts. Virgo is a very internal precinct. And Jupiter and Sag is a little more external, going out there. And so this is a very internal time, which is one of the reasons why it took me a while to get out this video, because it's just so internal and processing all these pieces and clearing some important threads and getting to some really important goods inside of myself and clarity. So I feel a lot more clear, and I wanted to get this out, this Pisces full moon report out before tomorrow. So there you go. And I'm just going to look around on my chart and see if there's anything else that I want to share about that. I do want to share that with Jupiter again in this double powered Jupiter and Sag, so that just to speak to that particular square between Mars and Jupiter. And again, I can't leave, this is a dynamic process that's happening between this key T-square, Mars opposing Neptune, squaring off with Jupiter, with the full moon also coming into a T-square with Jupiter. But what Mars is doing in there is saying, it's just giving it it's just like, I'm getting this, I'm working for my greatest good, this is what I want, I'm getting how I need to care for myself, I'm clearing myself, I'm connecting with myself, moon in Pisces, I'm getting that that's important, I'm getting that emotions are good, I'm getting how to work with my emotions, I'm understanding how to get onto a different track versus staying on that negative track and spinning out, and I'm actually getting, I've been spinning out there, that hasn't been working at all, and now I'm getting on this track. And so that's happening on a lot of different levels. Emotionally, but the highlight is the emotions. The highlight is that emotional perspective that you're holding, that's the deepest resource. You sourcing yourself. There's the moon. The moon is sourcing yourself, your navel energy center, your navel energy center, the navel chakra, that you're sourcing yourself from source energy. So you re-energize yourself, you revitalize yourself, you're holding yourself in positive healing perspectives. And again, it's not avoidance. It's not avoidance. It's learning how to fill your own void with yourself, and not make things outside of yourself determine how you feel inwardly. So it really is about coming into an inward buoyancy and like, wow, okay, I see how I spin on these negative threads and look at all these positive things. Like, here's one example of like when spinning out. I did a little spin out today, spin out all the time, and how I get myself off this track, which I'm learning from listening to Abraham, and I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks. And I was like, oh, look, so my eyes just fell upon the color purple, and it's a pair of scissors, and I'm just focusing on purple, and I'm like, I love purple. Look how pretty purple is. And just going on, and then like, oh, look at red. And that's so simple, but it gets you off your negative track. And so I've been doing that, and I'm like, that really works. I just focus. I'm like, wow, look at all the colors in this room. There's a lot of colors. Look, there's lime green and orange, and wow, my world is constantly filled with color. And then gratitude, and then saying thank you to that. And that just starts like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of what I want, and because that tends to be when we're in our survival mechanism thinking, moon in Pisces, we're thinking like, it's like, we're not appreciating, we're feeling, we're negatively spinning out. And because we're always in a state of wanting, that's just the way it works. We're here to live life. We're here to be ourselves to the fullest. We're here to thrive. And that's what I feel, that is who we are. Like, our world has not been thriving. Our world has been the foundations of this country, of this nation, of this modern earth, of this modern civilization is based on a lot of people's suffering. A lot of people have suffered. And the reason why a lot of people have suffered is because of other human beings. A lot of human beings have caused a lot of human beings suffering. So I believe we're in a time that we're making some really big shifts, and the shifts are in our heart. And it starts with each and every one of us who is wanting and willing to clear ourselves from our negative programming, and to clear our our ancestral lines of emotional confusion, and come into clarity with ourselves and a deep communication with the heart of our own, the heart of the earth through our heart, and the spirit of this universe that we live in. And the more we get that, wow, the gift of life is, oh, I am a universe unto myself, and I live at the center of my universe. And the more I love to learn about how my universe works, and that I'm meant for magic and possibility, and how to reframe my reality to really engage a holistic mind. This is going to make my experience that much better, and I'm going to impact the planet this way. And also the perspective of everything I'm doing is impacting the planet, because here I am. I'm in the planet. I'm not only on the planet, I am in the planet Earth, and this is a playground. So there we go, friends. Thank you. Thank you for listening, for those of you who are still with me to the very end. And I look forward to more unfolding, more shares of a astrological, planetary, soulful nature coming to you with Saturn moving direct and other things on their way next week, and heading into fall 2019. Thanks so much. Please subscribe if you're new, and reach out if you're interested in reading, starpoweralchemy@gmail.com. Much love.